Hi everyone. I'm pissed off because I just was literally 18 minutes into my other video on my inpatient experience, and then I had a cough attack and decided that it was way too embarrassing to post. I coughed for like a solid 2 minutes of the video. Um, I better not start again. But yeah, and then I looked on my Instagram and I saw that like a lot of people wanted to hear my funny stories from IOP. So I'm deciding to do that instead because my inpatient experience is way too freaking long. Um, oh, and thank you. I love you too. I just saw your comment on my picture or my video that I posted of me having my cough attack. So yeah. Anyways, nice intro. I'm Sierra. Um, as you guys know, I don't know why I say that. Here's my Diet Coke again. I literally have it like sitting on my lap. Okay. So talking about funny IOP stories. Wowza. There's a lot. Um, some of my, I think some of the people that was in IOP with still follow me on this account, so I'll be careful of what I say. But okay, so this is mostly regarding my therapist because I hated her and she was the biggest bitch I've ever met, and she was just not a good therapist at all, as most people who have seen her could agree. So the day I was discharged from Brandywine Hospital, um, they were trying to make me go into like a more intensive um program, like, but not inpatient. I mean, they wanted me to stay inpatient, but I discharged myself against medical advice. That was a whole other story. I needed to go back to school. They wanted me in a day patient, but like my one of my main reasons for discharging myself was the fact that I was missing so much school. So I was not going to join a day program. So I just burped. Oops. It's what soda does to you. Um, okay, so I they recommended an intensive outpatient program, which was 4 days a week for 3 hours. Rough. Um, so at least it's rough when you have a shitty therapist. So, needless to say, I went to her the day I was discharged from Brandywine Hospital. I went for my intake at I don't know if I should say the name. I don't really care. Um, I will. Seeds of Hope. um, I don't really care. Screw her. I had a therapist whose name was Katie, and she was hell. She was the devil in the flesh. Um, the second I had met her, I hated her, and I think I made it very clear. Um, so funny stories. I started out being like kind of I was really quiet. I mean, I was quiet. She told me I was very like to myself and I was a mystery and all this kind of stuff. In reality, I just didn't want to talk to that bitch. So some funny stories. Well, one time I I don't know where to start. These aren't in any specific order from like when I first got there to when I was leaving. Oh, by the way, I also discharged myself from her program after like 2 months because I couldn't stand her any longer and she just didn't know what she was doing. So, um, I'll just go in random order of these funny stories. So, one story is, well, okay, this is gonna be funny slash sneaky stories because I don't really know if some of you are gonna find this stuff funny. I mean, I find it hilarious, but I don't know how some of you guys feel. But sorry. Um, so I was probably the sneakiest person there, not even gonna lie. A lot of people there wanted to recover. I mean, which is amazing, obviously. I'm not saying like that's not. I wish I was in that position. I just didn't want to. I still don't want recovery. A lot of the people I was there with really did, and they were really trying. So I kind of feel bad for being a triggering bitch in front of them, but I couldn't help it. So one time, Katie had told me that I lost weight every single week I was there. So she wanted me to drink 2 boosts or ensures during the program on top of my dinner. We would bring a dinner, our own packed dinner, but it had to like fit our meal plan that we were discharged from inpatient with, or that they made if you're not coming from inpatient, the one that they made for you. So I left on a WR4 weight recovery 4 meal plan from Brandywine Hospital, and that is a huge meal plan. I stopped following it the second I got home. But needless to say, when I showed up there, she was expecting me to drink 2 ensures or 2 boosts while I was there, on top of my dinner already, which was huge. Well, huge for me. It was nowhere near as big as it should have been. But so the first night she told me she was gonna make me do that. She told me to get a boost from, she had like a cabinet in her room. So she told me to get 2 boosts from the cabinet in her room. So I got them and I put them on the table. And she said, I want you to drink them. And I said, no, I'm not going to drink them. And then we were going back and forth for like ever. And then I was like, I'm sorry, I can't drink them when they're room temperature. And she was like, okay, well then I'll put it in the freezer and you're gonna have to drink it before you leave. And I was like, okay, because I knew she'd forget because she was stupid. And I knew that nobody would like remind her either because nobody wants to like sell each other out. So we're sitting in group and it's like we left at 8:30 and it's like 8:28, and I'm like watching the clock, and the second it hits like 8:30, I just booked it out of there and ran so freaking fast. And then the next day I came in and she was like, oh, Sierra, and I was like, hi, Katie, and she was like, did you forget something yesterday? And I was like, no. And she was like, I think you did. I was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, I think you forgot to drink your boost. And I was like, well, those boosts. And then she told me that she was going to make me drink 4 that night because I didn't drink my 2 from the night before that, which makes no logical sense at all. So I flipped shit. And I was sitting down, like shaking, like I did not want to drink these boosts, obviously. I was like, I was shaking and I was crying and I was like banging my fists and like just going crazy. And Katie had them all open for me and she was like, you're going to drink them. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't know who you think you are. Obviously, she was my therapist, but whatever. I thought I ran the place. So she was like, you're going to drink them. So I took 2 in each hand. I stood up and I poured them on her. And she was not happy, needless to say. So that happened. And then I, yeah, that happened. Okay. And then another story. One time I showed up a group and I had lost a lot of weight within that week. And Katie told me that she was going to call Brandywine back and have me readmitted. Well, I did not like the sound of that one bit. So I like just kind of ran out of the room. The doors were never locked and I was always running, so I just ran out of the room. And I found a door labeled roof access. So I climbed to the roof and I just sat there the entire group therapy time. It was like 3 hours. And then my parents were charged $75 for me not being there. So that took some explaining too. I had to explain to my parents where I was. Okay, another story. At one point I was like, I told Katie like I can't handle drinking these Enters. They're like I hate them. They're too scary for me. All this stuff. So she was like trying to kind of improvise or compromise. I almost said improvise. Compromise with me, and her compromise was bullshit. She said I could either drink 2 Medi-Cal a day. They were 350 calories each. I could drink 2 Ensure a day, Ensure Plus a day, so another 350 calories each. Or I could eat three Lara bars a day. I'm not stupid. I said I'll eat the Lara bars, even though I wasn't gonna do any because I was supposed to be at home when I did it anyways. Like I wasn't gonna do any. But I was smart enough to realize that there's less calories in all Lara bars than there are in an Ensure. So even having three, as opposed to two, even having three Lara bars as opposed to two Ensure, it would still total up to be less calories. So I said that. But we originally didn't settle on Lara bars. We just settled on a protein bar or anything like that, a meal bar. So she tells me to come in the next day. Wait, I'm sorry, my dad's calling me. This is gonna be the worst setup video ever. Hello. Hi. Good. How are you? Nothing. Just sitting in my room. Mhm. No. No. Mm-mm. Yeah. Some college called today, but I was too afraid to answer the phone. I know, but I get too nervous. I don't want to. Yeah, but I know I don't like talking to people. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome though. Yeah, I hope so too. Okay. Love you too. Bye. Sorry about that. That was an inside scoop on my life. Um, yeah, college has called me. They've been calling me and I'm too afraid to answer the phone. So there's another I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know where I was. Okay, so Katie told me to come in the next day with like three different types of bars and we could like pick which one I was gonna have. So I came in the next day. This is like a badass story. I felt so badass. So I come in the next day with three different bars. The one of them was a Think Thin bar, one of them was a Lar bar, and one of them was a Cliff bar, I think. So I come in and they were all around the same amount of calories. So we were meeting like each meeting individually. And I was meeting with Katie, and we were sitting in this really long room, and it was like a desk, a chair, and then across the room was a trash can. That was all that was in the room. So we're sitting, and it was a really big room. We were sitting in the room, and I hand Katie the three bars that I had brought, and she looks at the Think Thin bar and said, "This has the word thin in it. This is out of like option." So I like took it and I just like threw it really angrily. And I did not aim for the trash can at all, but it like ended up landing in the trash can, and I felt so badass. And like Katie looked at me and was just like, "Oh my god!" And I was just like, "Yeah, that's right, bitch. Like, I'm cool." Um, so yeah, that happened. Um, another story. Okay, one time we were having a group challenge, and we were supposed to all get Chipotle, and every Thursday was like a challenge day. So, um, we all couldn't like we all were supposed to go get Chipotle before we came and then we would come and we would all eat it together. Well, I someone had told me that we needed to get a burrito. I was not happy about it, but I was like, whatever, I don't feel like dealing with Katie's shit tonight. I'm just gonna get a burrito. Whether I'm gonna eat it, I don't know, but I'm gonna get it. So I bought a burrito and I show up, and everyone there is eating a bowl, not a burrito. So I lost it. I like slammed it down on the table, and then Katie was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You got a burrito. Like everyone else got a bowl," and that made me feel even like shittier. So I unwrapped it, and Katie goes, "Are you gonna eat it?" And I was like, "No." And then she was like, "You're gonna eat it. You bought it." And then I took my burrito and I threw it, and it hit the window, and it just splattered everywhere. So that happened too. And these aren't even that funny. They're funny to me. The memories are funny. You have to know what Katie looks like in order to think they're funny. I also got into a very heated debate with her about veganism. Um, One time I was eating my meal. It wasn't really a meal. I'm very afraid of everything in a big quantity. Quantity scares the shit out of me. So I packed like I can't sit and have a meal. Um, I would like little tiny things, I guess. So I would pack like a bunch, not a bunch, that makes me sound greedy. Um, I would pack like enough of like everything that I needed, but like I would portion it out so it was like a very minimum amount of calories. And one time I was eating my meal and Katie told me that what I was eating was weird, and I lost it. And I was like, who the fuck do you think you are telling me that what I'm eating is weird? I am eating like this is like new for me. I don't usually eat. Like, don't tell me when I'm eating that what I'm eating is weird. And I like freaked out at her and I threw my indenture at her. Also one time I showed up with my indenture for once, just so Katie wouldn't make me have one there. Katie was like, "Oh, you brought an indenture, like blah blah blah," and she was all like happy. And then I go to open it. And usually an indenture, when you open it, it makes like a pop noise. Well, mine never made a pop. And it was because I opened it beforehand, dumped it out, and filled it up with water. Well, Katie was like, I didn't hear a pop come from yours. I was like, yeah, you did. She was like, no, I didn't hear a pop come from yours. Let me see inside. And so she saw that it was water. And then I like ran out and then I like did some stuff in the bathroom that I shouldn't have. Um, um, okay, we also one time had a Thanksgiving challenge, and you can ask anybody that I was impatient with. This was the day I may have been the most crazy even I've ever seen myself. I was sitting in the corner in a ball, like literally just in like this tiny ball, rocking back and forth, like shaking and like whispering things to myself, like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm like, everybody made their own thing, and then we were all like gonna have like a Thanksgiving dinner. Well, I was not having it. So I was like sitting there. I had made green bean casserole because that's what I was like picked to make. So it was really freaking hot, this green bean casserole. And I'm sitting in the corner and I'm shaking back and forth and I'm like crying to myself and I'm like screaming and I'm punching myself and all this stuff. And Katie comes up to me and she goes, you know, you're gonna have to eat sooner or later. She was just a bitch. And I was like, excuse me? She was like, you're going to have to eat sooner or later. And I took my green bean casserole and I took it in my hand and up into her face and I burned her face and I don't she was like, I'm not gonna get mad at you. I know this is your anorexia. I'm not gonna get mad at you. This isn't Sierra, and she was like trying to give every reason not to like hit me in the face. But I felt pretty freaking badass. Okay, and then one more story because this is almost 20 minutes long and this is ridiculous, and these aren't even that funny. So this one time I did not have a ride. Did not have a ride to IOP. I was very, very happy. But I called up my friend Tara, um, and I was like, hey Tara, like I'm not gonna make it into IOP, just like tell Katie that I'm not gonna be there. And Tara was like, wait, if you are going to IOP, I am not going to IOP. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like she lives like really close to it too. I lived a half an hour away. So I was like, I don't know what to tell you. And she said she had just gotten her license. And she said, I will pick you up as long as that means you'll go. So it was already like 5 o'clock. Like we should have been going there within like the next half an hour. So I was like, you're gonna be late. Like we're not gonna show up until like 6 o'clock. It's not even worth it. Well, she was like, no, like let's go. So she drove a half an hour to meet me or to get me, and then we were driving in a half an hour back. And we both were a bit delusional. We didn't eat, didn't sleep, blah blah blah. So we really shouldn't have been on the road at all. Well, we were at a stoplight, and it was like a turn you can turn on right. So she goes to like look both ways after stopping, and then goes, and we hit a car and got in a car accident. And the car pulled over, but we didn't, and we kept driving. And then we showed up, and the cops came because they knew our license plate number, and they told Katie that they were looking for a girl named Tara, and Katie asked what happened. So we basically were forced to tell her that we got into a car accident. They had to tell our parents, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, and then that day, me and Tara went to Five Below, and I'll show you the shirts we got because they're the best shirts in the world, and they're dedicated to Katie. So if you see this, Katie, we hate you. Hold on. Okay, it's inside out. And we both wore this the same day for Katie. It says, if you don't like my attitude, let me hang mistletoe over my butt, aka kiss my ass. So that's my funny story video. Not very funny. It would be funny if I could go more in depth with it, but this is 22 minutes long. So if I went more in depth with it, you would be here for forever. So, bye guys. I'm going to be making a my impatient story kind of video soon, my impatient experience. I don't know when. I wish I didn't start coughing in the last one because it was far along. But whatever. Um I'll upload this now and then I will post it and you guys can watch it or not because I don't blame you if you don't. So, love you guys. Bye. I never know how to stop this. Goodbye.